I've had a lot of people interested in how I make my oval frames for my paintings. And so this video, I will show you how I do it. So duplicate your layer. And all you're going to do is go to your elliptical marquee tool here. And you're just going to make an oval. And I typically like to do it the same kind of measurement all around. And then I just Command J, put it on its own layer like so. And I'll double click and go to my drop shadow. And I want to make sure the light is coming directly from over above. So it should be 90 degrees. And that way you get a nice little drop shadow all the way around. Now, this isn't totally necessary to achieve the same results, but it's just, something I do. All right, so I'm at multiply blend mode black, about 77%, and these are my settings here. If you want to zoom in really quick and just screen grab those, I will leave it right here. Also, keep in mind the contour. Click OK. Now, before we get into this really fun, quick tutorial, I wanted to share with you that I have a couple new courses up in my store, and we're just going to go over there and take a look. So in my store, I have many different items that you can get. In my downloadable courses tab here, you're going to see all of the downloadable courses. This one is 20 bucks. This one is 30. This one is 20. You can read the description. You can see what's included. This one is the latest one that I just did. So for this one, the actual subject image is included. All of these florals that I made using digital art, as well as this background that I painted using digital art. And like I say in this course, if you're interested in learning how to perhaps paint your own backgrounds that you can use for portraits, just let me know and I will consider making another lesson on that. And with all my courses, you can see that the items that I used are also listed here so that you can follow along using the exact tools that I did. So yeah, if you're interested in any of these very inexpensive courses and learn how I do what I do, then my advice to you is to come in and for 20 bucks, pick up a over 2-hour course. And for instance, I just wanted to share with you, like this lamp here was drawn using digital art. And I will show you exactly how to do that in this lesson too. Okay, back to the video. All right, so now that we've got our cutout, we have to address the background here. And this is just one of my floral textures available in my store. It looks way too dark for what we want to do, so we're going to go Command L, pull up our levels, and we're just going to brighten this up. Pull your highlights up as well. And then bring a little bit more contrast by pulling your blacks to the right, and you get something like that. You can also Command U and go to your hue saturation, and maybe you want to go to your blues and make those a little bit more pink. Let's go to our magentas and see if we cannot make those a little more pink, not too much. Let's try, I'm looking for the purples, which are usually in blue, but we could try reds. There we go. So our reds are going to be right here, but it's still not giving me that pink I really want to see. So let's just go to our selective color. And now we're going to go into our blues. And yes, these different adjustment layers react differently, all of them. So let's try adding in some red to our blues. So if you go back and forth, you can see if and at all this is being affected. Not terribly much. Try our magentas again. We're trying to add some red. So this is making it a little bit. Can add some more magenta in, which will increase our pinks. And you know what? That's definitely good enough. You just want to kind of enhance everything and make it pop a little bit more. So what we do now is we use our grab tool and we pull it. Hold your shift key because that'll center it. Pull it onto your image, and we're putting this underneath our oval. Command T, bring it up to a corner right about here. Hold your shift key and drag it down. Use whatever perspective you want that works for your image and just hit enter. Okay, so once you have all of that done, it's actually not too difficult. Now what we're going to do is we are going to add a mask to our oval. In our brushes, I'm going to go to my No Tools, and I'm going to find a texturized brush that will make the edge of our oval look a little bit more interesting. I usually like to go to my No Tools set because I have tons of different textured painterly like brushes. So I'm going to try this one and make sure you have a black brush. I'm going to put my flow all the way up, but I'm keeping it quite small and I'm just going to the very edge. Okay, I'm just looking to get rid of that harder line of the oval. And this will help kind of blend your images a little bit better. So just get rid of the hard line. That's the main goal here. And I would say that the easiest way to accomplish this is not to go right on the oval, but right next to it and just let the brush kind of spray away that white edge, that harder line. Do you see how if you can see my cursor, I'm not even on the oval. I'm just getting rid of the very hard edge. Okay, and you might have to go over and do this just a couple of times just to make sure the remaining hard edge is actually gone and not part of your image anymore. So even something like that would suffice. And you can always just hit your X key and come back and bring back a little bit if you feel like if a few pieces got missing that you maybe didn't want gone so much. But then you're going to be left with this. You're going to go to your properties and you're going to feather out your mask because that's going to really help smooth out the edges. And then you're going to go back with that black brush and you're just going to reduce your flow down to probably 50%. Make your brush a tiny bit bigger, and you're just going to go over and do that again. And that's just going to soften it just a little bit more, but not as much as 100%. This actual technique right here is also very optional, so don't feel like you have to do this part. Okay, put a layer above it. We are going to our pattern stamp tool right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find patterns that kind of match both the background and the environment of our portrait. So in my 2026 pattern set here, we're just going to look for colors that are going to be complementary or work within this image. And so you can see I kind of have them categorized by color, right? So we're going all the way from light pinks to dark pinks to lavenders and yellows. And I try to have a range of what you would probably need in these sets. This one it has not actually been released yet, but it probably will be shortly. So looking now, I'm probably going to try this one. And as far as a brush is concerned, I'm just in my no tool set using my no texture florals, okay? And then what you do is you just come in and you just add those florals and you extend it from the background into the image in the oval. And what you're going to want to do is just kind of blend it over and make it look like, oh my gosh, that was absolutely part of the image there. And it's just a really pretty way to blend these really nice techniques together and make things look like they were done this way initially. So you're just going to go over, and wherever you have dark spots like this, it's going to work really, really well. And this is really light here, but if we look down here, it's purple. So we're going to want to try to find a purple one. This is too light. Probably looking at that, I would probably start with this one. And then when you come over here, you can just kind of blend this in. So if you have been kind of confused about what types of things you would use a pattern stamp tool for, I hope this helps because I use these all the time. Okay, you can come up and you can just add little bits and bobs of that particular color. And don't forget, you can always just use the same brush as a brush, not as this tool, and you're going to be able to pick any color. If you wanted to add maybe some of this pink color in here, you could do the same thing. But I'm going to look over here. So this is like a really milky green. So let's look and see if I have a milky green that's going to kind of match this. And I would say it's probably going to be this one. So then you can come in with your milky green and just kind of add that in back here. And I would recommend that every time you change your pattern on this, I would say do it on a different layer because then you can adjust the opacity and you can add blur, you can do all of that stuff. And that is very, very helpful if you can manage to have those functional abilities within doing this. Okay, you can do the same thing over here. Just adds in that extra pretty oomph. So if you come over here and you go over, let's say you paint over this bird, then you're just gonna mask that off. So don't worry about going over things. You can always erase it off, mask it off, whatever works for you. Okay, so let's go back to a pink one. So let's go back to this guy because now down here we can definitely kind of make it look like these florals are falling, kind of water falling down off this edge down here. You can always come up and add this to the top, which I think is super cute, and this side as well. Okay, let's just go ahead and zoom in really quick so we can look and see if I need to paint some of that off. I'm just going to use an eraser tool. I'm just going to make sure our bird is not covered. And then use your blur tool and just soften that. Okay, everything else is fine though. And then when you do that, you're going to go another layer on top. You're going to go back to your pattern stamp tool, but this time you're going to choose your pieces brush right here. And now we still have the same pattern selected. Make your brush quite small. And then when you come in here with this one, it's just going to kind of add back some that are a little bit more structured and formed. And this is all on a new layer. This kind of just takes, the bokeh-ishness away and adds back some structure. Make your brush smaller, and you're going to come up here and just go over this very top part with a very tiny brush. Okay, so something like that would be very presentable. Now, alternatively, like I told you before, you can go into your brushes and you can choose that same pieces brush just with a regular brush and maybe sample the color of her dress. And then you can come up and just add some of the colors of her dress in here so that it starts looking a little bit more cohesive from a color perspective. I always like to include items like, color of wardrobe and what have you. And when you get bigger areas, just make your brush a little bit bigger. And this is how you can use the no tool set for both the pattern stamp tool and regular brushes, right? Okay, how cute is this? And same thing with this, like just sample whatever color. So this is more like a green one. Maybe you want to add in some of that lighter sagey green color, maybe over here. But you're basically just embellishing the existing work that you've already done when you want to add in these kind of really pretty ovals. And these print gorgeous on fine art paper, guys. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to just merge all of these layers together. So merge these together and we're going to duplicate it. And then we're going to go linear light. We're going to go filter, stylize, emboss. And for emboss, I usually have my settings at 2 and 200. And what this is going to do is going to add back kind of like a painting texture on this. And my angle is going to be 90 because I want it to be coming straight above from down like before. Click OK. Now we're not keeping this on the whole image because that would be entirely too much. Let's just zoom in. See that? Way too much. So that's not our goal. What our goal is, however, is to reduce your fill probably down to about 50. Then you're going to hold your Alt or Option key and click Mask. And now we're just going to use a soft regular brush. And we're just going to paint on some of that raised painting texture just on the perimeter here. Okay, and this just adds in that real kind of textured painting texture to all of this new little floral painting that you just did. just gonna go over this a bit because I don't think I got it all. Okay, so this part again is entirely optional. You maybe don't want to do this, but I think it really adds a very unique element that you just don't see really anywhere else. And I'm all about being individual like that. Okay, so that's all done. You're probably going to feather your mask out a bit. You're going to go ahead and flatten it. And that is how you do it. It's super quick, super easy, and all you need is my no tool set. I will be posting that pattern set up in my store this week, but I do have other patterns up there too. And if you attended the Photoshop Creativity Summit last year, I taught you how to make your own patterns. Let me know if here on YouTube you guys would like me to show you how to do that yourself because it's super easy. Really no reason to buy them when you can just make them. Okay, see you in the next video.